Stuart Lowe, one of the current players, of course. Daryl Bullock is the captain, and Bill Moore, who kicked 735 goals in 195 games between 1929 and 1941 on the half-forward flank. The forward line, Dave McNamara, who started in 1905 and is reputed to have kicked the ball longer than any person in the history of the game. I think he kicked a place kick nearly 100 yards. Tony Lockett is the full forward, no surprise there, and Nathan Burke, the other current player in the side. Carl Dietrich, who missed the 66 grand final. Robert Harvey, the dual Brownlow medalist and current captain, is the ruck rover, with Brownlow medalist Ross Smith, the rover. The interchange, Barry Breen, who kicked the winning point in 66, Alan Morrow, Bob Murray and Jim Ross. And the coach, of course, is Alan Jeans. 10 players in the side from the 66 Premiership team. What a fantastic St Kilda lineup. Let's go down to the Crown, where the Saints will be going mad, particularly after last week's result. And the man who was the star for the Saints, he's now starring for the Footy Show in Peter Spider Everitt. Please give him a round of applause, everybody.
Thank you, Eddie. Good evening. How are we all?
Good, Spice.
It's a fantastic night down here. We've got 1,500 supporters, and as Coco set up on stage before, you can normally read about it, you can hear about it, but you can actually never see it. And there's a lot of spirit in the room tonight. There's a lot of culture, and as a young bloke out here playing football, it's just a fantastic atmosphere. And I've got some of St Kilda's greats with us, and some of the Team of the Century members alongside me. And we'll have a quick word to Pluggo, as he is contracted to 7. He's not allowed to say too much. And just before he heads north, he's just about to go up now with his. Have you seen his ads? The boats, and now Jayco caravans, and also Nissan. You're about to head off north, Tony.
Still got a little bit of work to do, Spider. Yeah, as you know, it's a pretty busy lifestyle, so got to look after the streakers and the Jaycos, don't we?
The flight must have been a long one from Sydney. The eyes are a little bit glazed.
Yeah, it was a long flight. Yeah, probably a longer flight home tomorrow, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it will be. So going back up to Ballarat or Bindi Ballarat tonight. Six cans and 6 dim sims.
No, well, it's actually 6 cans and 12 dim sims, but no, actually going home to Ballarat, yeah, while I'm down this far, I better make the extra hour up the road and say hello to everyone and then back home tomorrow.
Well, it was pretty hard to say Tony Lockett was going to end up at full forward, but we've got another 3 guests with us, and of course one of them now is Neil Roberts, and he's been down at the club for the last 12 months having a fair bit of input, and great night tonight, isn't it?
It is wonderful, Peter, yes. It's, as I said before, to see the whole tradition and the whole culture come together in one night under the one roof is just quite fascinating, really.
Neil, can you hear us from the... Yeah, Neil...
Yeah, I can hear you, Eddie, yeah.
Neil, I was just wondering, for a bloke who's been down to the club for so long, the 1958 Brownlow medalists, you saw the premiership years and when the Saints were going so well. A night like tonight with the spirit that's around the place under Rod Butters and, of course, Malcolm Blight, is this the sort of thing that you can really, you know, springboard off for the season for the Saints?
Absolutely. I suppose if you had a night like this at Collingwood, you'd be in 7th heaven, Eddie. It's just, the whole thing is electrifying. It just goes to show that it doesn't matter what you do with St Kilda. Every time you kick a bush, out jumps a St Kilda fan. And they've come from everywhere. They sold this out weeks ago. It's quite amazing.
Spider.
Yeah. Every time they could kick a bush, out comes a St Kilda fan. That used to be the social club about 15 years ago. But we've also got Nathan Burke here. Never ever played in the forward pocket until this year, but been named in the forward pocket, Nathan.
Yeah, quite happy with that, Spider. Just to be linked with any of these guys is something amazing and something I just want to get in. There's 1,500 people here tonight, but at 4 o'clock tomorrow, the Saints will be training. We'll have all the Team of the Century down there. For all the people who didn't actually make it here tonight, they'll be signing autographs, a bit of a sausage sizzle, so hopefully we can carry this on for another couple of days.
Well, I reckon most of them will probably go straight through, and if you haven't actually got in here tonight, just go to the blackjack table later on, because there'll be a few of them hanging around there. But
anyone going to the Metro tonight, Spider?
Metro, no, we've actually been restricted out of that area, and Barry's pretty mad to go down anyway. I thought he would have got shot before anything, but we've got Cowboy Neil here, and he actually said before that footy isn't boring, and that we could have probably won the 97 grand final if we'd knocked a few of them out.
Yeah, I think that's right, Eddie, and I can speak a bit longer than Plugger because I'm not contracted to anyone. He did, but no. Yeah, well, look, it was disappointing, and I think, you know, the longer it goes that us fellas that were involved in the 66 grand final, you know, we keep getting our heads getting bigger and bigger. So it's about time that we got another one up to take a bit of pressure off us. But nights like tonight are fantastic. I never thought it'd happen with this club, but It has, and it's fantastic.
Now, Kevin, I suppose you can remember the day down at Moorabbin that you, I think I lost 7 litres of blood out of my actual body from you punching the living suitcase out of me for the best part of 3 quarters.
Well, I tried very hard, Sam. When I've always told everyone, and people have asked me who are the good footballers you've seen, and I say this not in trying to crawl to you, but I told everyone that I thought you were the best young player I've ever seen come into the game. And yeah, it was a pleasure to actually touch you up down there. It was good.
True. Did a lot of people a favour.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Cowboy, exactly how many times can you hit Sam before you get sick of it?
I don't think there's any number. Indefinite, yeah.
Yeah, well, just while you're talking about best players, who's the best player you've seen down in the St Kilda Guernsey?
Oh, you know, I was extreme. I look back at my career, and to go to the club in that, I was there for 13 years, in that period of time when they had success and played in so many grand finals. I was very lucky, and I was lucky to play with some great players. Baldock and Stewart, those fellas, like, they were just, you could just keep writing the superlatives about them. They were just sensational.
Now, Spider, I don't know if Neil Roberts is still there, is he?
Yes, he is. He can hear you.
Neil, any glaring omissions or any chat down there of blokes who are pretty stiff to miss the team of the century?
Yeah, well, at our table there's Keith Drine, and there's always this. Of course, it's a raffle and there's a lot of luck involved, Sam, as you know. I think Brian Gleeson was very stiff too, because he started the new rucking era when Roy Wright finally gave it away. And I think those 2 blokes, Keith Drine particularly, and Brian Gleeson, they were very stiff not to make that team.
All right, Neil, well, let's have a look at the team that's going out to play against Geelong this weekend, and a couple of other players out of that side included Danny Frawley, of course, their longest-serving captain, and also Colin Watson, a Brownlow medalist who missed out. The Saints have a look at this for a new-look team, though. Fraser Garrick comes in, also young, and this young player, he is an absolute star, Justin Kosicki. He was the number 2 draft pick overall. He could have been number 1. Anyone would have picked him up, no doubt about it. The fact the Saints had the first 2, Kosicki comes in, and also Ozzie Jones back in the side, which is fantastic to see. Delaney's out with a groin injury for a week. But the new players to the Saints, 2 of their gun recruits, Fraser Garrick and Justin Kosicki. Let's have a look at the Geelong side. The Cats were very hard, but they've been cleaned up at the tribunal this week. Murphy rubbed out for a week, Mooney out for 2 weeks. Coming in is Mooney's brother. McGrath Street is a new player. He is from the Tassie Mariners. And also coming to the side is Enright, formerly of the Port Adelaide team, and Ling comes into the Geelong side. Stephen King, of course, was lucky he was cleared at the tribunal during the week, but this is going to be a great game. Saints versus the Cats. Let's go across to Sam for his thoughts on this match.
This will be a great game. This Geelong full of promise, and they reckon they're onto something this year. And, well, what can we say about the Saints under Malcolm Blight? Just the best start of all time for the season, because they beat a pretty good side in the Western Bulldogs last week. I reckon Geelong will win, Ed. I have no parochialism when I say that, but I think Geelong think they're really good things this year to finish in the top 4, and I know St Kilda do too, so it's just a roll of the dice. But this is a tipstar game, is it not, Ed?
It is.
91-80 in favour of Geelong.
Glenn.
Well, poor old Geelong haven't got a terrific record at Colonial. I think they're only 1 from 7 at Colonial, Sam. So
this is the game we had to ring in last year about, Glenn.
It's going to make it pretty tough for them there, and as a result, I think St Kilda 4 goals 19 will edge Geelong 7 goals straight.
It's 24.
Very close game. I think Geelong 90, St Kilda 82.
Ooh, OK.
Yeah, I'll stick with Geelong. They must have played pretty well last week. 102-81.
All right, well, Spider, the boys have all gone for the Catters here, mate. How does that make you feel after such a great result? And well done to you personally last week, best on ground.
Yeah, thanks for that. No, I think it's great, actually. We don't mind being the underdogs, and a little bit of value on the tote too. But no, we're going in there. Cats were very hard last week, and you know, we're just happy to have a couple of new recruits come in with Fraser and Justin, and hopefully, you know, they can get a start and get a couple of kicks. But no, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a tough game, but I'm in no doubt that we'll walk away with 4 points.
Your forward line was pretty good last week. Where's Fraser Garrick going to play? Is he going to be off the half-back flank, do you think, or centre half-back?
I'm tipping if he is to play, I would have run him off the back line. But my say doesn't have much to say these days, so I'd say he'd be in the back line with Max Hudson and probably Hawley. OK, and one final one. What about the big bad Barry Hall this week? What's the thoughts been around the club? And well, there's been a few dramas down there, including yourself this summer. Oh, yeah, look, it's all over now, Eddie, I suppose. If you want to keep rooting into it and carry it on for another couple of years, by all means. But
No,
it was 5 days ago. I suppose if you read the paper, and I'm sure you do, that you would have covered the story quite convincingly by now and realised the club's taking their own measure in dealing with it, and they've done so.
Good. All right,
so don't forget that 4 o'clock either tomorrow morning at the Blackjack table or 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, all the members are going to be at the St Kilda Footy Club. So get down there and see the team of the century, because it has been a fantastic night down here at Crown.
Down at Moorabbin.
Let's hope we can get out of here without being in trouble.
In any trouble. Good on you, Spider. Well done. Spider Everitt reporting from the Crown tonight. Fantastic effort, Spider. And well done to the Saints. You've got to hand it to them. They're doing everything right at the moment, St Kilda. Their recruiting's been great. Their first game, and even tonight, having all those champions and 1,500 people at the Crown. Good luck to the St Kilda Football Club. There's new life down at Moorabbin, and you should get down tomorrow night at 4 o'clock to see some of the greats with your autographed books. It'd be a fantastic night. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with more right after this on the Footy.